Hello, Internet Nation. Alex and Ashley here with the strongest craving for corn. I don't know why corn. I want some buttered corn on the cob, maybe with some seasonal, and some tuna. That would be wonderful. Maybe one of these days I'll try to make some tuna. So, I'm about to do day 2 of the Ethereal face mask challenge. And I mean, that's not what this video is about. I don't know what this video is about. Ooh, I just scooped it and felt the bottom. I've only used like a few tablespoons of this stuff, but I don't want to OD because it's kind of expensive and I kind of want to have it for some time. So today is day 2. Here is a little update as I try to find which lighting works. This isn't even plugged in. I just knocked all my Nendos over for nothing. Don't you just love when you do things for no reason? Over there, chair. Alright. That doesn't help that much. All it does is highlight my forehead. So yeah, today is the second day. And my skin feels nice. I put the hair stuff on my face. And I wouldn't recommend that if you have oily skin, because it kind of feels like it hasn't fully absorbed into my skin yet. Which, I don't know if that's an issue I usually have. I just know that sometimes if I'm like really active and stuff, after oiling myself, it won't absorb. So maybe it's too hot for it to absorb into my skin. Who knows? Didn't wash my face again before this, so this stuff is basically just going to be taking off all the oils on my skin. Which, you know, you guys, I'm not necessarily sure how this product is going to affect my skin after a few days of doing this. But if you plan on doing face masks, for one, you're not supposed to like exfoliate and do certain masks every day, multiple times a week. Boop. But if you're going to be doing the 7-day challenge, I recommend that you pay attention to your skin, you know? Because you don't want to keep using it if it dries your skin out, or after some time it makes you feel dry. Oh, it makes you feel dry, or it makes you feel like or it makes you break out, stuff like that. Because when you do face masks, basically what it's doing is it's pulling the bad stuff, the toxins and all that, and the dirt out of your skin, and sometimes it can be very aggressive and abrasive. That just scared me. I thought there was a whole face poking into the side of my phone, but I just got a message from Discord. So you want to like watch your skin and make sure that it's good, because you don't want to damage your skin by doing a face mask. So yeah, I don't know what effect, I don't know the difference that using water versus using apple cider vinegar will have. I'm sure the apple cider vinegar is very drying in general, but it's also good for the body. I think it's the turmeric that like burns my eyes when I put it too close. And I heard from Atia that it burned her eyes too, so it's not just a me thing. It's probably the turmeric, because turmeric is rather spicy. Very spicy. Anything that can dye your skin orange, you know you should be on the lookout for. This stuff isn't going to dye your skin orange, but if you were to use turmeric on your face and nothing else, then you would get dyed. earlier today, I was thinking about how I had to make this video and I wanted to, like, talk about something specifically, but that was hours ago. Now I'm just kind of thinking about my drug addiction. Should I even call it that? My very strong desire to smoke. I always like to tell myself, if I'm not going out to suck dick to get it, I probably shouldn't call it an addiction. You know, because if you're not doing things that make you hate yourself to get these things, does it really have power over you? Maybe, who knows? And that's because the government decided to slack on paying us, so I didn't get the opportunity. I was going to pick up today, but the government decided that it was going to slack OD. So I didn't get the extra $600 to send to rent so I could have money. But there's also a part of me that doesn't want to smoke. I just, like, I don't know. I don't know if it stemmed from the fact that I was smoking roach blunts for the past few days. Just straight roach blunts. Which can be terrible sometimes, especially since I have I don't know, it's like this agitation in the back of my throat. I should probably talk to a doctor about that. Because everyone just, like, gets confused. And they're just like, what? And like, oh, why do you have baby lungs? And I'm like, I cough when I smoke. Because the hot smoke agitates the back of my throat. And it feels like there's a lot of phlegm there. So then when the smoke passes the back of my throat, it feels like somebody's just, like, gliding their fingers on the back of my throat. And it makes me cough. Can't really do anything about it. You have to, like, be really in control of how you hit the blunt to make sure that you're not gonna, like, die. But it's really hard to do that while you're smoking roach blunts. So the part of me that wants to stop smoking was just like, oh, this is terrible. I definitely don't need it anymore. But then I don't smoke and my body's all like, oh, this is ass. Can we get, like, a blunt? Because I kind of want to be held, but I don't really know anybody who I could, like, have hold me without making it weird. So I'm just gonna get high and pretend that I don't need human interaction. You know, keep calm, carry on. Just continue to live in denial, because, like, human interaction isn't something I get to have, I guess. But yeah. So last night, I got really anxious, right? And, like, I'm laying in bed. And I'm super anxious because I notice it's like 4 a.m. And I notice that there's still some in here. I wonder what I should do with it. Maybe put it under my pits? I mean, maybe it'll make them smell less. I ain't got shit to do. But then you remember that this is on camera. But who cares? Let's see what happens. Let me detox my pits. So I'm laying in bed thinking about how, like, the government didn't give me the extra $600. You know, that shit that we kind of need. Everybody kind of needs the extra $600. Because otherwise, what? You give me $91 a week. A week, my nigga? I used to make that in a day. And you want to give me that in a week? What am I supposed to do with $91? What am I supposed to do? So, you know, I'm just in a panic because I'm like, they said that we had another week left. And then here they are not giving us that money for this week. And I don't know who to call or how to call a human, because you call the number and it's like, oh, hey, do you want English or Spanish? Cool. Now confirm now claim your benefits for the week. Oh, you already claimed your benefits. Goodbye. And I'm just like, why does every website say that this is the number to call if all this number does is confirm whether or not I filed my claim? That's kind of stupid. But so is America. And of course, their system in place for this pandemic that the government kind of had a hand in definitely isn't being covered, and the people are just being thrown to the sunder. But whatever. So I'm laying in bed and I'm super anxious, and I'm just like, doing this thing that I do on occasions when I get really anxious, and I'm just like, oh, it's okay. You don't have to worry. Everything's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. And then, you get caught in the duality of things, because I have a very split mentality. Because there's me, and then there's everything everybody else wants me to be. And then in the middle of all that is the crippling fear of being disowned and abandoned by everybody, and my family not talking to me because of the choices I've made in life, which I find hilarious, because if they had, actually taken their choice to be a parent serious, then I probably wouldn't have done the things that I did, because I wouldn't have had to go through the traumas that I went through, and I wouldn't have had to deal with those traumas all alone, mind you, through the ways that seemed the most fit. So where was I going with that? So I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about all this shit, right? And I don't know what to do about the duality of things, because I grew up knowing fear, knowing nothing but fear. Like, fuck peace and joy and comfort and stability and being loved and knowing what love is. I didn't have any of that. I just had, whatever you do, don't get caught. Don't talk about your feelings. Avoid people at all costs. That's literally what that was like. Let me move this thing from my door. So yeah, that's all it was. And then that kind of makes you anxious. Just in general, you just get super anxious for literally all the reasons. So I have what could technically turn into a panic attack all the time from worrying about just stuff like this. And oftentimes, I'll just think about stuff. Like when my roommate comes around, I usually get really tense and nervous, because I'm just like, damn, I know I gotta pay rent, but I can't, so I just want to avoid you, because I don't know what to do, and I don't want to confront the situation because I don't know what to do. I can't get work. I'm not gonna sleep with some lowlife for rent money. That'd be gross. I'm not gonna, I want to say sell myself, but that's the last thing I just said. I'm not gonna do dumb shit, and there isn't really much to do. There isn't much work to get out there right now. People like to say that you can find jobs, but you can find a job if you're willing to put yourself in the crossfire. If you want to be one of those people that work at a place that's full of idiots all day, sure, I guess, for minimum wage at that. But it's not like I could keep that job, because after society goes back to normal, then I can go back to my regular jobs and, live life, surviving the way I was back when I could actually, I can still bike around, but back when every dog walk wasn't a minimum of 5 miles away. You dig? So I get really bad crippling anxiety to the point where it just kind of becomes everything, and I just kind of want to die because I'm so anxious, and I feel like there's no hope for life, because it's I try to do stuff that makes me feel good and all that jazz, and I try to I don't know, not be anxious, but then my mind just goes places, and it's well, this is what's happened, and this always happens. And even when you're up front and straightforward with things, people don't listen to you. I can't tell you how many times I told somebody something and they heard something completely different for some reason, to the point where it's just like, why even say anything to people if they're not hearing what I'm saying? And I'm saying it straightforward. It's not like, oh, I just want to be with you and I want to show you that I can be there for you and care for you, and I want to show you intimacy because you never had it before. But then they want to say they're being straight when I'm sitting there like, what? You want to who? You want to what? You want to what? Oh, you want to have sex, but you're not man enough to say it. And honestly, if you're not man enough to go up to somebody and be like, I want to fuck, I want to have sex with you, when you know your bitch ass has no intention on, like, respecting their boundaries or giving a fuck about their feelings or caring about what they want, you're not a man. I mean, you're not a man if you're out here using people for sexual gratification. Like, you know what's just as warm as a human vagina? A hot pocket. And get a fleshlight, my nigga. Warm up a pumpkin. You do not deserve to be using another individual's body unless you're totally down for being bent over and slammed in the ass when your homeboy wants to get a nut off. Which then again, just fuck your homeboys. Because you know you don't care about these women. You know you don't give a shit, so just fuck your homeboys. You all horny as shit anyway. We just want to be left alone. That's a good one. I'm gonna start telling niggas to go fuck their homeboys. Just leave me alone. It's like, y'all all wanna fuck, and instead of wasting my time and try to gaslight me talking about you ain't never had intimacy before because I don't wanna fuck you, how about you just go fuck your homeboys? Cause I ain't got the time, and I'm probably gonna wanna smack you with the side of an axe if you're gonna sit here and waste my life with your existence. Because you know, it's one thing to be a shitty human, but then when you want to be a shitty human and force yourself on others, talking about and gaslight people because they try to walk away from you, you shouldn't exist. But I digress. This is about anxiety and how I felt last night. So I'm laying in bed trying not to have a panic attack, convincing myself that I'm calming down. And then I fall asleep and I have one of these dreams, which I have sometimes. It's been increasingly more. But sometimes I'll have these dreams where, like, I'll have panic attacks, lots of panic attacks in my dreams. This last time, I think usually when I have a lot of panic attacks in my dreams, usually it's tied into, like, wanting the person I'm with to, like, pay attention to me and give a shit about me. I have a long history of relationships in which the person just kind of turned their back and is like, well, I'm not interested. I remember my first serious boyfriend who got me pregnant was just kind of like so over the relationship. Like, I don't understand why he didn't just break up with me, because yeah, I would have been sad and shit, but if you're gonna get somebody pregnant and then not care when they're sitting a few feet away from you, just kind of like bawling on the train, what's wrong with you? Like, just break up with the person, because if you don't give a shit, just leave, you know? So I have a long history of dealing with those types of dudes, dealing with the dudes that will rape you and then tell you that they didn't rape you, tell you that you initiated it, telling you that you saying, no, I don't want to have sex, I'm not comfortable with this, I don't want this, is initiating it. Like, no, you're just a rapist. You're just the worst rapist. You need to get hit with the sharp side of an axe. Okay. So yeah, I have a long history of dealing with dicks, and sometimes it haunts me. So I'll just be like with people in my dreams, and I'm just like, I just want to be held. But you would think that since these are my dreams, they would just be like, oh, dreamland, everything is wonderful and hunky-dory and as I want it to be. It's like, oh yeah, in my dreams, I have sex with who I want to have sex with, and I get snuggled endlessly, and I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, that was wonderful. I wish I could go back to snuggling. Nope. And the only time I can recall snuggling in my dream was like while talking to this dude who's making some dumb bullshit excuse about his abusive girlfriend. And I'm just like, these are my dreams. Why are we having these conversations in my dreams? Why are my dreams so fucking terrible? So there was a lot of panic attacks, which I found kind of funny and tragic because I literally went to sleep trying to convince myself that I was calm and that I was just gonna let anxiety go. But it's like, I don't know how to let go of anxiety when these are reoccurring things. It's like, I can't change the fact that I don't have anybody to talk to and I'm really upset. I can't change the fact that I don't have anybody to call when I need to be held. I can't change the fact that people don't seem capable of having meaningful conversation, let alone listening to what you actually said, instead of like processing their own thing and getting their own meaning out of such simple, straightforward words. I can't really change the fact that the best solution for me seems to just be isolation. I don't really know what to do about that. I don't really have the people around me that I would like around me. I don't really have friends. I have like people who are there financially, but you know, I would prefer somebody to talk to, somebody to hold me, somebody I can feel comfortable with over financial help, I guess. So, I don't really know who the person was. It felt like a conglomeration of a bunch of old people. Not like old people as in elderly people, old people as in people I knew in my past. I don't know. And I've been trying to like let stuff go. I don't know if it's just because I'm always depressed and I just always want to fucking die, or if it was just because like I watched 3 Made in Abyss movies, and excluding the end of the third movie, in which Prushka kind of like takes over Bondrewd, or her soul mixes with his soul, which is kind of funny because it's like he was such a bad guy, and then he created this child who loved him so much that her love was powerful enough to mix with his soul. They didn't really explain it. Maybe in the manga they'll explain it, but like her soul just kind of like mixed with his. He was trying to see if her love would be enough to protect him from the curse. So she was just like, I want you to fight these guys, but also I don't want you to kill them because I want to go on adventures together, just the 4 of us. And then he went from I'm gonna defeat you to I support what you guys are trying to do, carry on now. So I don't know, Prushka just kind of came through and saved everybody's life. So it was kind of hopeful. You know, there's that nagging sensation in the back of my head where I'm just also like, she's doing this for nothing because apparently her mom isn't even down there. But I did not confirm that. I just read that in an article somewhere, so I'm gonna continue to choose not to believe that. But it also kind of makes enjoying the show really difficult because it's a very difficult journey that these kids are going through, and it just keeps getting worse and darker. And if they're doing it for nothing, then what even is the meaning of life, you know? So I don't know, maybe I was just really sad because those movies are really sad, excluding the end of the third one. And it's just like, why was Prushka like the most adorable girl I've ever seen in an anime? Why does she not have her own android? I don't understand, but now I have to make her one. So okay, I guess. But I feel really off right now, you know? Even more so than usual. Like, I feel emotionally set off. And I don't have any buds that I can smoke and distract myself from the way I feel. But I don't feel like I need it. I just really, really want it. There was an Android face on my table somewhere, but now it's not here. And I was gonna work on that. It's probably right in front of my face. I just can't see it because everything's blurry right now for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, so I'm probably gonna wash my face soon. But I'm curious as to what I should use to moisturize, because I don't think I'm gonna use this stuff, the hair stuff, for my face again, considering how long it took to absorb last time. So I might just steal some coconut oil. I keep seeing the reflection of the light on my light and thinking that the sun's coming up. I don't think it's that late or that early. You know, I was talking to my therapist this week, or last week, I guess. I'm supposed to talk to her today. But I was talking to my therapist last week, and I said something to her that made me realize, or not realize, because I already knew this, but it made it hard for me to not feel like therapy is completely and utterly useless a lot of the times. Because it's like, I don't really know what the purpose of it is. For one, I talk to my psychiatrist once a month for like 5 minutes, and it's the most awkward thing ever, because she'll be like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good, I guess. And then, you know, the way I am, I just want to like talk about the really good stuff that has me feeling really good, but it just feels weird because I don't really know this person, and the way she sounds so disinterested. And she's like, oh, cool. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. What am I supposed to say to you? Because it feels like you don't even want to be on the phone with me right now. And how are you supposed to know what to prescribe me if you don't even talk to me? I don't understand how that's supposed to work. But, you know, I guess that's just the American mental health field, where they just give you drugs. I don't know, maybe I can get her to prescribe me some Zoloft or Xanax or some fun shit. Something worth my time, you know? But I was talking to my therapist, and I told her something very direct. For one, I noticed that my therapist isn't really paying attention. Because, like, one time she was like, oh, you got really upset, but you didn't want to hurt yourself. The day I went to the post office and had a really bad panic attack for like 2 hours. She was like, oh, you got really upset, but you didn't want to hurt yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? I literally told you that I wanted to die, that I wanted to kill myself, or I wanted to hurt somebody. What was the purpose of me being so transparent with you if me telling you I want to hurt myself or I want to hurt somebody doesn't raise a flag for you, or doesn't register as me saying I want to hurt myself or I want to hurt somebody? It's like therapists are so fast to be like, oh, do you need to stay at the hospital for a while? But they literally ignore the important shit that you say. Like, I was telling my therapist, I was like, oh, I just have all this shame and I don't know how to get rid of it. And then I told her why I have so much shame, and I was like waiting, like, okay, this is the point where you tell me how to get over my shame. This is the point where you tell me what I can do to get past the shame that I generated from being shamed for being alive. But I didn't get a response to that. So if my therapist isn't gonna help me get over shame when she knows exactly why, because I don't know how to get over fucking shame. I don't talk to people. I don't have close friends. There's nobody I feel comfortable with. How am I gonna learn how to have a healthy sex life when the only time I have fucking sex is when I do porn? What do you want from me? Literally everybody that tries to talk to me is trash. Fucking trash. So I don't know what to do, because gradually I'm starting to hate boys. Hate them to my core. That is 50% of the species. that I am starting to despise, and my therapist has no words. No words for any of that. I'm just like, what is the purpose of us talking if you can't help me do shit? And mind you, I'm such an easy case for a therapist. I'm such an easy case. I literally walk in and I'm like, I have this problem, doc. This is what happened to me in the past, and this is how it affected me today. I do X, Y, and Z because of this thing that happened to me. I tell people X, Y, and Z. All this shit, X, Y, and Z. And she ain't got no response. She ain't got no response. She ain't got nothing to say. The first one was all like, oh, well, people are like this, and, hurt people, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, doc, my therapy isn't about people. I fucking understand. You don't have to waste my time rambling on, because why do therapists ramble so fucking much? You don't have to waste my time rambling on talking about why people have so many shortcomings. I get it. Humans suck. There's literally an entire system in play to hold humans down, to make them manipulate and mind control each other so that hate and Satan rule the fucking planet. I get it. You don't gotta describe to me. I can feel what it feels like to be led by hate. I have this fucking pain inside of me that makes me want to murder everybody. I get it. Okay? But this isn't about everybody. This isn't about people's excuses. I get it. What does that say? I think it says device is low on either memory or probably getting hot. I don't know. But I get it. Therapy is supposed to be about me. Eventually something is going to have to be about me. I don't know what. Because clearly relationships aren't about me. My life isn't about me. Nothing is ever about me. But whatever. One day I'm going to have a funeral and that's going to be about me, I hope. Probably not, because funerals these days are usually just a bunch of people getting together and expressing their sadness over you. And they like to make it about them, because people love making shit about them, and it's never just about you. It's never just about you. It's like, oh, my manipulation of you hurt you? Am I hurting you? Oh, well, you're hurting me by expressing the pain that I caused you. And if you really cared about me, then you would X, Y, and Z, and also you X, Y, Z. And I'm just like, why are humans like this? Why are humans such trash people? But you know what, you guys? I'm going to end this right here. I'm going to go wash my face, I guess. Enjoy your night home, skillet biscuits. Know that you're loved by this guy right here. And if you forget to love yourself today, I got you. So keep calm, carry on, eat some Skittles, and give your animals a hug. Bye.